I'm a 31-year-old woman, and if you'd asked my parents 5 years ago what kind of man they expected me to marry, they'd have said someone with a corner office, not a toolbox. I grew up in a house where your value was tied to the size of your paycheck and the title printed under your name. My dad, Robert, owns a mid-sized manufacturing company that he treats like an empire. My mom, Denise, hosts dinner parties where the main course is bragging about our family's successes. My brother, Eric, is a corporate lawyer, and my sister, Olivia, is married to a hedge fund analyst. It's all very polished, very predictable, and very suffocating. Then there's me, the one who went off script. I met Jack at a trade expo where I was managing a client's marketing booth. He'd been hired to run a safety demonstration for industrial engines. Most people skimmed past his display. I stopped because he explained things so clearly it didn't feel like engineering jargon. It felt like storytelling. He was funny, sharp, and surprisingly humble. By the end of the day, I was more interested in him than in any of the potential clients who'd walked through. When I brought him home a few months later, it didn't go well. My mom smiled too much. The kind of polite smile that hides judgment. My dad shook his hand and asked if he planned to make a living under a hood forever. Olivia laughed, saying I must have lost a bet. I remember the silence after that, not because I didn't have words, but because I knew they wouldn't listen anyway. Jack never acted intimidated. He talked about his work like someone proud of what he built, not like someone trying to prove anything. He ran his own auto repair shop and taught part-time technical courses at a community college. My parents treated him like he'd wandered into the wrong room. When we got engaged, things got worse. My mom called it a phase. My dad said I was marrying down, and Olivia joked about how romantic blindness must run in the family. On our wedding day, only Eric showed up. My parents and Olivia refused to attend. After that, Jack and I focused on building a life of our own. We bought a small, worn-down house that needed everything fixed. He taught me how to rewire light fixtures. I taught him how to budget for marketing campaigns. Every weekend, we finished a new corner of that house. Walls, flooring, even the plumbing. It wasn't glamorous, but it was ours. Jack didn't stop at fixing cars. He spent his nights studying industrial systems, earned certifications, and started a small consulting firm, specializing in machinery diagnostics and predictive maintenance. Within 2 years, he was earning more from consulting than from the garage. He hired 2 technicians and began traveling to factories around the state, helping them modernize their operations. Meanwhile, my parents never asked about him, until they noticed changes they couldn't ignore. A new car in our driveway, a vacation we didn't brag about online. My mom finally called one afternoon, pretending to ask how I was but slipping in, "So what's Jack doing these days?" I gave her short answers. She didn't deserve the details yet. The irony came full circle when my dad's company started losing money. He blamed new environmental laws and outdated regulations instead of looking at his equipment, which was years behind the industry. At a family dinner, I heard him ranting about lazy regulators and expensive repairs. Jack listened quietly, then asked calm, practical questions about data tracking, energy recovery systems, and maintenance cycles. My dad brushed him off with a smirk. "You wouldn't get it, son. This isn't car repair." A few months later, my dad called me sounding different, not arrogant, just tired. His company was struggling, and he was desperate for advice. He asked if I knew anyone who could audit his operations before he had to sell. I told him I might. When he asked who, I said Jack. The silence on the other end lasted long enough to make my point. That weekend, I arranged a formal meeting at our house. My mom came too, tense and quiet. Jack showed up in a suit with a portfolio thicker